really excited to bring up somebody that we love here at your castle to come talk to us for a few minutes. He is the heart of that #1 team up here and leads that team, and is just such an amazing impact for us at the company, so we're really excited to hear from him today.
Give it up for John Stegner.
Okay, let's get away from the numbers for a minute and kind of just talk about the art and science of real estate. If you'll bear with me, in my little teaser I said I was going to try and give you all one thing. That's how I judge trainings or meetings. If I walk away, I learn one thing, then it was worth my time. So that's the objective. Let's start with this. I think being a real estate agent is the best job in the world. I've had a number of different jobs. We're going to talk about a couple of them, but I love what I do. I think it's amazing. I was able to be a phenomenal dad, make it to all the soccer games, climbing tournaments. I was able to be there when my kids were sick. Tons of freedom, and I've had a long career. I've been doing this now for 20 years. In fact, I met Brian McMillan like the day after he got licensed, and was able to work with him for the first 6 months of his career, and it was really fun. So, been doing it a long time. One thing that does make me sad is I see a lot of people try and fail. A lot of really intelligent, hardworking people come into this industry that has tremendous freedom, so much to give us, and they don't make it. Maybe a couple of things I give you today might help you not be one of those people. Before I get into the meat of my speech, I want to see anybody here that's been doing it for over 20 years. If you could stand up for just a second. Just bear with me. All right, so there's not that many. That's crazy, right? There should be more. Now keep standing if you never intend to retire. Who we got? All right, we got 2. That's phenomenal. So those are 2 people that I know could teach me something. So thank you. I don't intend to retire. I find so much meaning in doing this, I don't know why I would ever stop doing it. Yesterday I went out with 2 clients. One of them was a friend of my niece. I wrote a contract for her this morning, and she had a bad pushy agent. So she called up my niece and said, I'm having a bad experience. My niece said, you should talk to my uncle. And we had a blast looking at homes. The other one was an 80-year-old that pulled me out of a river once when I was like 6 years old, friend of my parents. And his agent sold him a house sight unseen because he was relocating that faced north. 80-year-olds don't need to shovel snow. So let's take a lot of pride in what we do, and let's think about our clients, not about ourselves, and how we can be of service. That's the first trick to really loving being a real estate agent. So my background was actually after I stopped dairy farming, was in social psychology. I actually did a PhD program in it. It was because of a professor at Oregon State, Frank Benari. And he taught me about this concept that got me really excited called interactional or interpersonal synchrony. They first observed this phenomenon with parents and infants. They found that if they watched a parent interact with an infant and they saw this kind of ping pong effect, parent make a face, baby make a face, parent make a sound, baby make a sound, it would predict how quickly that baby would go through developmental stages. So interactional synchrony predicted something in the future because the communication was so much better, the child was learning faster. Frank Bernari's research was with couples that were dating after 1 semester in college. So he took them, brought them into a room, sat them down, asked them a bunch of questions, filmed it. Then he removed the audio, and he pixelated the video. Then he had other students score the synchrony of those pixels. When one person leaned in and the other person leaned in, one person leaned back, did the other person lean back? Could you see a heads turn when they were answering questions? Was they taking a similar amount of time talking? What was fascinating, what got me excited about psychology was it predicted whether those couples were still together 2 years later, at graduation, and then 2 years after graduation and 4 years after graduation. There was still a correlation between that pixelated video and whether they were together. So, interactional synchrony, interpersonal synchrony is really important when you're working with clients. And you see it all over the place if you start thinking about the concept. Religious gatherings. If before the pastor or priest gives their sermon, wants you to hear them, first they have you stand up, sit down, kneel, say a prayer together, sing some hymns, and then you're ready. They got the audience warmed up, right? And they'll actually hear what they say. When you go to a football game and you walk up to your seat, you see the people in the row, and you're like, yeah, not my kind of folks. You sit down, then your team starts doing well. And you're giving them high fives, and you're cheering at the same time. By the end of it, you're like trading contact information. They're your besties, right? Like interactional synchrony brings people together.